So we're here today with Cyrene, and
thank you for having me.
Absolutely, fantastic. So you're new to the area. Have you been?
I've been here last
That's right,
year.
You were here last year because you had a short.
Yeah, I premiered the very first Snapchat full-length documentary on here.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So you are at Cyrene Q in all
Snapchat.
of your social media,
Yes.
on Snapchat and
In all of my
Instagram,
social media.
all social media, and it's CYRENEQ.
Yes.
Awesome, good.
But my main platform is Snapchat because I just love how interactive it is.
That's
and
amazing.
They have a new AR thing, and I'm creating AR artwork that people can actually put on their rooms through their phones, and so it's taking my art to a different level. I'm making art, but then you're having the art inside your room.
That is amazing.
Yes.
That is so cool. Well, tell us a little bit about your experience with making a film through Snapchat and what that was, and what made you think, hey, I think I'm going to make a movie out of Snapchat.
Well, for the film last year, I think Snapchat is very authentic. I think there's something authentic about taking your phone and not somebody else taking it for you. It's your own perspective. It's kind of raw, and it's taking a glimpse of your own life.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I took 25 different Snapchatters from all over the world. There's people from Lebanon, from the Philippines, Hispanic backgrounds, women, men, every kind of Snapchatter that I'm connected with. And they told their story through their phone, which is, and I wanted to show my audience, I wanted to show the Bentonville Film Festival audience that there's that diversity in social media, and there's and I wanted them to show what their typical life is.
Yes.
What it's like in their end of the world.
Excellent. So I want to dive into that a little bit because I think that social media has such an effect on our society anymore. So you're here at the Tribe Table with us. This is what we're calling that because the Tribe Table is that safe place where we can come together and have some real conversations about awesome things. Our organization, Tribe of Women, our mission is to build cultures of women supporting women and more good men. So ultimately, and I think one of the things I've been noticing is that with the festival and with Tribe of Women, festival started about women. It was women in film.
Yeah.
And then it evolved to diversity and inclusion. And it's evolving even more with the disabled and veterans being represented. And it's evolving because ultimately, Tribe of Human, right?
Yeah, we are.
So tell us a little bit about what you have seen in your journey with social media as to how it's affecting our daily lives. A lot of people think that it's separating us, but you are having some experiences in how it's bringing us together. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, social media, it's the way that we consume information. And I think that, it does, people do think that it does disconnect us, but I think it brings us together because before you wouldn't know what was happening in Europe, in the Philippines, in Asia, and it was hard for you to get information, and it was filtered through what the broadcasting channels are giving you. And now you have the power to see live on what's happening around the world. And I think, just opening that perspective, letting people know what's going on. I think it's making and getting us used to what diversity looks like. Yeah. And it's becoming so normal. People aren't, culture shocked or anything anymore. Yeah. Or, it's making it easier. I mean, people can still be culture shocked, but it's making the younger generation know other culture.
Yeah, making us easier to understand with each other, connect to our stories and some of those things. So if you were to kind of give some tips on some healthy habits with social media, because obviously we could live in our phones, that could totally happen. And I think the other thing we hear about a lot when we're doing workshops and working with women is how fear of missing out, FOMO, that we can go and get really involved in other people's lives, forget to live our own, and also feel like that comparing starts to happen, and somebody else's life is better, and I should be doing this, that, or the other. So what are some healthy ways to engage with social media and also give out to social media in a healthy way?
I think we can start with the main quote of this festival is, if you can see it, you can be it. Yeah. Everybody in social media, everything that you see and everything that you see people do, you can do it too. I mean, before I was just a watcher, and And then I was like, well, I can do everything that they can do. And so I started my own and building my own following. And I think there is a healthy balance to everything. People are probably a little afraid that you are being disconnected. It's social media is taking away from real life. But you can be that with anything. It could be video games. It could be TV before social media. It's just a balance in life. It's not social media itself. There's nothing wrong with social media. It's keeping us connected to the world. I think it's doing more good.
Yeah.
And it's opening our eyes to the world.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
That's good. So what do you think that? What's your pattern? So Snapchat is very active. It's kind of all the time. So the way that I think about social media is, our website is completely stagnant. It's like where you end up. Facebook is a little bit slower, and then you've got Instagram is really artistic and storytelling. Then you've got Twitter, which is really fast that I barely keep up with.
Yeah, it's really fast.
So where does Snapchat fall in with kind of those other media?
With all of that, I think compared to Instagram, it's more raw. Like you're not very post because it disappears. Yes.
Is that good or not good?
well, it's kind of like a conversation that you have with a person. It's not always recorded, and I think there's something magical about that you're on their schedule, and you're not putting something away. Whenever I think of it, is that with YouTube and other social media, I can put it off for next week. But whenever I say something on my Snapchat, I feel like the people are wanting to connect with me right then.
Right then.
Yes, and it feels the most as like a real conversation, and you're not being put off.
Yeah. Where do you think it's going, Snapchat?
I think it's going, they're really into that augmented reality, and I think it's more an interaction. I love it's intimate. It's not all about likes and numbers because only you and, if I'm working with a brand, the brand can see it, my analytics. But other than that, you're not pressured if, no one sees your story because you only you can see it and the people that you want to see it. Yeah, and I think I like, and you can just be as authentic as you can be on that app.
Be yourself. And that's the other criticism, if there is one, about social media is that everybody's only posting the happy stuff.
Yeah.
Or some people post only the sad stuff, and that's that can get there. I think one of the things that we talk about a lot in social media is that I don't feel like it's on the person putting out the social media to show you everything.
Yes.
It's for you to know that everybody's got their stuff, right? Even if we are showing the happiest pictures. I know I have, terrible days, and then this one little awesome thing will happen, and I'll be like, here it is, I had this moment.
It's creating your story. When you tell a story, you want to leave some stuff out, you want to include some things. As people a long time ago used to tell stories from generation to generation. We're doing the same thing. We're telling our story. And if we want to leave some stuff out, then that's fine. It's not a bad thing. It's just storytelling for other people to see in the future.
It is. All right, so tell us a little bit about your tribe. And if you want to, specifically your tribe of women that are supporting you or inspiring you right now.
My tribe.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to start
your Snapchat tribe.
my Snapchat tribe. Well, I do want to start with Snapchat. I mean, when I first started, Snapchat was there was not many influencers, and the influencers that were being featured in the media weren't very diverse. I was probably the first woman. I was probably the first woman that actually got a lot of media attention. And which is a good thing because I actually started my website called the11second.com, and that was since Snapchat didn't have discoverability, it was hard to find people on Snapchat. So only a few people were being discovered, and I didn't think it was very diverse. So I created that website, started featuring artists that I knew from all over the world that I personally seeked out, and brands started looking at that. Those artists started collaborating with each other. And we just kind of grew into this very first generation of Snapchat influencer. And I like it. I mean, I like how it's going, and now the pool is more diverse.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my tribe. It's
you do. You get to build an online tribe.
Yeah.
We have permission to do that, and it takes away geographic barriers.
Mm-hmm.
It takes away all gender barrier, all the barriers kind
Yes.
of get removed in the social media realm. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Good. I love it. Well, so what is next for you here at the festival?
Last year I was premiering a film, and then now I'm talking about inclusion and the future of kids media, the future of kids media.
Future of kids media.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you sharing with on the panel? Do you have? I know it's not
Yes,
just you because it's
yes.
a panel.
It's a panel. It's put together by Kickstart Entertainment, and there's people from Mattel, DreamWorks, and Nickelodeon in there, and we're just going to talk about how the future of kids media is going to be, because I think, like as cliche as it sounds, kids are the future. They're very impressionable, and for me, like my platform, which is Snapchat, 85% of their main 185 million users are under the age of 35. My audience is 13 to 17, and then I think only 12% are over the age of 35 on my audience, and so I have a very young audience. So basically, I'm making kid shows.
You are, and you're influencing the next generation.
Yes.
That's the beauty of social media.
And in a way, yeah.
No pressure.
You're raising our kids.
You're raising our kids for us. No pressure there.
It's good to have I like to think of myself as a role model. I want to show them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like there is some responsibility of some social influencers? Because I have 3 kids, so I have watched my oldest and my middle and my youngest, the evolution of how much they use their phone, and it's just escalating. And it used to be we make the joke about TV being the babysitter, right? And now it's the phone being the babysitter. So thanks for babysitting my kids for me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's fine. I think I have a lot of fun with it, because it's not that I'm intentionally creating kids show, but I'm creating family-friendly shows.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody can watch. It's not just kids, but I know that I do keep in mind that I do have a young demographic, but I'm trying to be true to myself. It's what I like, and what I like is very family-friendly. I do a lot of art in my social media.
Oh, beautiful. I will send my son your way, because he loves that. I was going to ask what it was about you that was really attractive in your media that you were doing.
Yeah, I do a lot of traditional art, and I do digital art, and now I'm doing augmented reality art. And I'm basically showing people that art is a lifestyle. I'm taking it and creating a career out of it. I'm working with clients on my art, and art's just very beautiful.
It is.
Yes. And I'm also the National Ambassador for Digital Arts Award in my home country, the Philippines.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people are thinking, oh, you're an artist, you're going to be a starving artist. But I don't think that's the case, because right when I got out of college, I had 3 art majors and 1 art minor. And
Oh my goodness.
And everybody was like,
what are you going to do with that?
yeah, what are you going to do with that? I mean, I was a Donaghy scholar. I had a full scholarship, and I chose art. It was a minority. It was also, everybody wanted to be doctors, everybody wanted to be, which is good.
Yes.
We need more doctors.
Yes, we need all of those
But
things.
also we need more artists, because artists make people happy, art is beautiful.
Your perspective is beautiful. The way that you create, and just I'm not artistic. My son definitely is, and the way that he looks at the world is just different. And it makes everything better.
Yes, and art is everywhere. This is art, that's art.
Exactly, it is.
And people don't realize that is art. It's not just, people, sometimes it is people painting, but art is everywhere. There's a career in it. And I just want to encourage that if you're passionate about art, then pursue it. Because if everybody just pursued what they were passionate about, everybody will give it 100%. But if you pursue something,
we'll find our way. I mean, there's enough for everybody. Yeah.
Some people are passionate about taking care of others, and that's good. Pursue that. But if you're not passionate about something, you're not going to give it your 100%, and you don't ever feel like you're going to succeed. So.
I love it. That's awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for being here.
It's very awesome to meet you too. Thank you for having me at the Tribe.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
at
the Tribe Table.
Thanks for coming to the Tribe Table today.
Sometimes I need to unplug. Sometimes I've got to reboot. Sometimes I just want to sleep. But I always want to connect with you. Get into Brew Moods, aromatherapy lotions powered by a mindfulness app.